Okay, and we're back. So, we've got some exciting stuff for you. Remember, this channel is everything educational. We'll talk about U.S. markets, U.S. headlines. We'll also do some technical analysis on TradingView with some of the publicly traded U.S. stocks. We'll get into some of the fundamentals, some of the analysis. We'll also do some chart patterns. For those of you wanting to learn about chart patterns, we'll do some of the indicators. We'll also get into some of the headlines that affect the different patterns and the different charts. So that's all coming up, and we promise this is not a boring channel. You won't be sleeping. This is educational, but we're going to make it fun and interesting, okay? And having said that, let's get right into it. Some of the things we'll be talking about are the takeaways from the landmark decision about the tariffs. We'll also be talking about how the tariffs affect gold and silver. We'll also talk about how how these decisions are affecting big companies such as Apple. We'll also talk a little bit about data centers, quantum computing, as well as how these data centers are affecting normal everyday people. And for example, we'll also talk a little bit about how this big Supreme Court ruling affects more than just Apple. It affects other companies as well. And then we'll do like I said, we'll get into the trading view, doing some technical analysis. So let's get right into it. One of the ones let's look at here is, for example, this article here about Sam Altman defending the AI resource usage. There's a lot of concern about how much water is being used, how much energy is being used, stuff like that. Well, apparently Sam Altman dismissed these claims, and it basically said that humans use energy too, and he acknowledged that AI energy was rising, but urged to use cleaner power. That being said, data centers traditionally use large amounts of water to cool electrical components and prevent overheating, while data center cooling technologies have promised reduced consumption. Newer data centers no longer rely on water at all. With improving efficiency, a report last month from water technology company Xylem and Global Water Intelligence projected that the water drawn from cooling would more than triple over the next 25 years as computing demand rises. Let me say that again. Predicted that the water drawn for cooling would more than triple over the next 25 years as computing demand rises, putting pressure on water systems. That's a lot of water. That means they're going to triple the amount of water. While dismissing fears about water use, Altman said the energy consumption remains a fair concern. And he talked about how, for example, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, who has suggested that the efficiency of the human brain proves that AI can evolve to also become more energy efficient over time. And so after having thought about that, I thought we'd take a look into some energy companies as well as So let's do that. For example, we can do this top energy companies in the USA. Some of the top energy companies in the USA, electric companies in the USA. NextEra, Duke Energy, Dominion. Dominion's a big one too. Let's look up that one, Dominion. Dominion's a popular name. Let's see. D for Dominion Energy. For those of you who may not be aware, Dominion Energy engages in the production and distribution of energy. It operates through following business segments: production of and distribution of energy. And according to TradingView, their Q4 2025 net income reached 567 million, up from 134 million in Q4 2024. So the revenue rose 20.4% to 4.093 billion. Wow, that's interesting. So yeah, this is right here on TradingView for those of you watching. Let's look over here. Yes. Oh, and just some of the basics. I guess I should share that too. Um, we'll talk about some of the indicators and how to use them. This is the RSI. Let me talk about this. The relative strength index. That's the RSI. It's the RSI, and you can think of it this way. Over 70 is thought of as over a bought, so possible market corrections coming. So when it gets over 70 becomes overbought, and over 30, this is where it becomes below 30 equals oversold, possible market corrections coming. So yeah, think about it like that. This is appears over 70. So when it goes above this, you're thinking, hey, there might be a market correction coming. When it goes down here, boom, there might be a market correction coming the other way. So one's going to correct and go back up, one's going to correct and go back down. And then, again, the relative strength index is just based on, trends in history. So think about that. And then let me go here. And then, for example, this is the MACD. So the moving average convergence divergence. That's the MACD, and the MACD line is the so the MACD is the blue line, and you look for when it crosses the orange line. So that's what you're looking for. When does this thing cross the orange line? So for example, let me give you the blue line. Hold on, where's my arrow? This is the blue line, the MACD. That's when it crosses right there. You see it crosses. When it crosses going up, you're going to see the price chart here go up. You see, so right here you see go up, and you see the MACD is a little bit lagging. So it actually started going up right here. Hold on, started going up right here, but it should, yeah. So the MACD is a little bit lagging. That's one of the complaints about the MACD, is that it's not on time. That's true, but it still does help a little bit. So that's the MACD. Again, when it crosses going up, the price chart's going to go up. When it crosses going down, the price chart's going to go down. Let me see if I can give you an example. Like right here, price chart goes down. So right there, crosses right there. The price chart goes down. So that's the MACD. Let me see if I can give you some chart patterns now too. Chart patterns. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, here we go. Dun. For example, this if you see this right here, here's a top, and also here's a top as well. This is your double top, and then this is the neckline, and now you can see it breaks the neckline and goes down. So let me highlight that for you. Here's your rectangle. Boom, and this is what we call a there's the double top, there's the neckline, and then it breaks the neckline and goes down. So when you see a double top, that's kind of what you're looking for. you have the two tops, and then you have the neckline, and as it breaks the neckline, that's when it really breaks out. Okay, let me see if I can give you another chart pattern before we go on to the next ticker. Bum, bum, bum. Let's give me a breakout here somewhere. For example, you can do. Yeah, here's another. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, look right here. Here is another double top right there, and then here's your neckline. Boom, and you see it breaks out going down again. Bum, bum, bum. Right there. Also, for example, let's see if I can get this. Yeah, here's a also here's a reverse reverse. Here's your reverse head. Here's your left shoulder, right shoulder. So you see right here, there's your neckline, reverse head and shoulders, and there's your neckline, and here it breaks out right there. Doesn't break out much, but it breaks out a little bit. Yeah. And so that's, let me highlight that for you as well. There's that right there. Boom. And now this is Dominion Energy. So let's we talked about a couple of chart patterns. We'll talk about more in the next tickers. We talked about the MACD indicator. We also talked about the relative strength indicator. Now let's go here. Over here on the right side, if you go here to key stats, volume wise it's at 9.28 million. Market cap is at 56.3 billion. And like for example, when you're looking at volume wise, let me point out what that means. Volume wise, see here, like as it's going down, people are trading more. And then also as it's going up, people are trading more. So that's, for example, why volume is important, because if you're, let me give you an example of, here, I forgot to mention about this. Let me give you this. RSI right here between about 55 and down here to here. This is, for example, this is the between 45 to 55 equals neutral area. This is the neutral area of the relative strength index. So when you have a neutral area, that means your price is basically just, it's like a ping pong ball just going up and down the same amount. So you'll see that in the price chart. Let me show you where that is. Where's a good example? Hold on, if I can find a good example of this. Yeah, so basically, like for example, right in here, you see the price chart doesn't go up or down much, and look here, the price the RSI is pretty, it doesn't go oversold or overbought. So this is what we call consolidation or continuation. So yeah. Price goes up and down the same. Basically goes up and down the same, okay? So yeah, I'll put that here to consolidation or continuation, whatever you want to call it right there. So there's that. So I forgot to tell you that before. I wanted to. So yeah, that's why so for example, when you're looking at the consolidation, market cap, why is that important? Because look at the market cap, or the volume, I'm sorry. The volume right here is basically very small. So no one's trading much because the price is just staying the same, right? But look, as soon as, for example, let me give you, yeah. So look, yeah, right here, as you can see, the price goes up, so people start trading. Or let's see, same thing right here. You can see more trading action right here. The bars go up, that means there's more trading action, right? So let's look down here. Market cap's at 56.3 billion. Let's go here to earnings. Earnings wise, yeah, quarterly we can look at quarterly, but yearly is also very important. So for Dominion Q4, just barely beat its expectations. So why are we looking at earnings? Why? Because earnings is one of the things, not all of them, but it's one of the pieces of information that can tell you how healthy or unhealthy a company might be. Because, for example, is it earning money? Is money coming in? Yes or no. If there's no money coming in, then that's a bad day. So here, and you want to know, is the money coming in higher than what they were expecting or lower than what they were expecting? Because if it's higher than what they were expecting, that means it's healthier than it's supposed to be, which means the things go up. But if it didn't get as much as it was expecting, that means for some reason it was underperforming, which means the stock price will probably go down after that. So Q4, Q3, and Q2 of 2025 all outperformed expectations, but it's more important to look at annually. So 2024 yearly beat expectations, 2023 missed expectations, 2022 just barely beat expectations. So 2 out of the 3 last years beat expectations. So that's interesting to keep in mind. So that means that earnings wise, 2 out of the last 3 years were better than expected. Statements. You want to click the annual button. When you're looking at statements, you're looking at kind of the total revenue, the gross profit, operating income, and let's look here at the last 3 years. We're also looking at net income. So looking here, 2024, actually everything was good in 2024. The total revenue, the gross profit, operating income, and net income was all good. Yeah, so that was all green. But 2023, revenue, total revenue, gross profit, and operating income were all negative in the red. However, net income for that year was in the green, so that was the positive part. 2022, as you can see, total revenue was good, but gross profit was not. Operating income was good, actually, but net income overall was negative. So again, this helps you decide what you want to focus on, which parts of this is more important than the others, so you can discern, is this a good buy or not. Now, if you want to, for entertainment purposes, you can look at what some of the forecasters say. And again, I don't put too much stock into this, but if you want to, you can say, oh, what do the forecasters say? Well, for Dominion, they give it a very neutral rating, and 13 analysts on Wall Street offering a 1-year price forecast have a max estimate of 69 and a minimum estimate of 60. So again, who are these analysts? Who knows, right? That's why I say this is just kind of for fun, but yeah, I'll let you know. So now going back here to what Sam Altman said here about the data centers. That's why we're looking up these energy stocks. We can do this for let's go to another topic. Another topic is oil just dropped as traders are uncertain about what's going to happen with Iran, and so let's look at this. Oil fell as investors weighed the odds of a nuclear deal between U.S. and Iran, with more negotiations on the issue expected later this week as Americans forces mass in the Middle East. Okay, so having said that, let's take a look at some of the top oil companies. Oil companies in the USA, which would be Exxon, Chevron, Conoco, Shell. Let's look at Chevron. Let's do that one. Why not? Chevron. Yeah. And if you're liking what you see, or if there's anything interesting, give me a smiley face in the comments or something. So here's Chevron. For those of you who may not know, Chevron engages in the provision of oil and gas energy solutions. It provides crude oil and natural gas, manufactures transportation, fuels, lubricants, petrochemicals, etc., etc. So that's a little bit about Chevron. And let's see, for example, if we look at, we talked about the RSI, the relative strength index. Remember, when we mentioned this, we said that, okay, here is overbought, here is oversold. And right now the RSI is sitting here at 62, 63. So it's definitely, this is, we'll put this 62 equals not overbought. So it's not overbought. So it's got room to run. And actually, you can see the price here is sitting here, right here at, right there at 183 basically. And I want to point out to you right here, you can see some consolidation right here. See how it basically goes up and down about the same amount, doesn't change much. Let's see, how much does that actually, it goes, yeah, about 50 cents right there. Change right there. But my point is, that is an example of some consolidation right there. Yeah. And then, for example, so 62 right now is not overbought, so this thing could easily go up, or it could also just continue to, let me give you this one, it could also just continue to, go like this. Yeah, it could, because look at the down here. If you see this, that's what the RSI is doing. It's just kind of going. Look at this. It's just going up and down the whole way. Now, do we have some chart patterns? Let's see. Or what do we have here at the MACD? Looking at the MACD. Right. Let's see. Let me undo some of this stuff. Yeah. Look right here. So, for example, right here, the MACD crosses going down. It should have crossed over here, but it crossed right here, right? And then it goes up right here, but it's late, so it goes up right there. So you see how the MACD is lagging. Now, what's it doing here? It crossed right here, and so it's going up, and right there, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, put that crossed right here. It's going up. Yeah, it's going up, and it hasn't. It has not stopped yet. And then let's go find some more chart patterns here if we can. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Here. For example, here we go. Here, basically, this is a double bottom right here. Here's your bottom, and then right here is the neckline. And yeah, let me highlight this for you. So here's a nice double bottom, and you can see right here it breaks out of the neckline right there. Yeah. So there's that, and see if I can find a couple other ones. Yeah, maybe in the next one I'll be able to find some more. Yeah, let's do that. Now, looking at Chevron, volume-wise, it's at 9.57 million. And let me show you again. As you see, it goes up, like there's more trading right there. That's the volume. And then where is it? Right here again, you have right there more volume as the as the price chart changes. As the price chart changes, you have more volume, and the same thing here. You have the price chart changing, going down, so you have more trading there. You have more trading when it goes down. You have more trading when it goes up. That's just how it works. And then, so that's why the volume is important too. Market cap is at 378 billion. Let's go to the earnings. What is this thing earning? Quarterly Q4, Q3 and Q2. As you can see, all three of those quarters surpassed earnings expectations. Put that on annually. 2025, 2024. 2024 missed expectations, but so did 2023. Okay, so 2023 just barely missed annual expectations. 2024 did miss expectations, and 2025 actually surpassed. So out of the last 3 years, only 2025 surpassed expectations. So bear that in mind. No, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It didn't miss the expectations by much, but it still missed it. So again, that would affect the value of the stock. So statements wise, let's look here at the statements. Click the annual button, and what do we see? Basically, yeah, not so good. The last 3 years, total revenue, gross profit, operating income, and net income, all the last 3 years are all in the red. So just bear that in mind for Chevron. And when you go back to the chart, yeah. Okay, so we talked about the energy. We talked about that top. Let's see. Top water companies. So, for example, if we're talking about water and water companies, essential utilities, offering. Let's try essential utilities because this is affecting water. Data centers affect water, right? We can try this one. Yeah, American. So AWR, American States Water Company. AWR. Let's try that. AWR. Wonder what it's doing. And again, let's try a different one. AWK. AWK right there. Yeah, maybe this is so. AWK, for those of you who are not, is a holding company which engages in the provision of water and wastewater services. It operates through the regulated businesses and other segments. So, bearing that in mind. The regulated business segment offers water and wastewater services to customers. The other segments focus on corporate costs that are not allocated to the operating segments. Yeah. So, this is also because of the data centers article that we talked about. So what's this doing here? Looking here at the RSI. RSI is sitting here at 34. So 34 is not oversold, but getting close, right? So bear that in mind. And let's see, If we look right here, what is this? You'll see, let me highlight this for you again. So here's a top, basically a top, and you see how it goes up and down almost the same right there. So there's some consolidation, and you see that kind of reflected here in the RSI. See how it, right there in the middle? And then, let's go here. What's the MACD doing? If we want to look at the MACD, right here, the MACD crosses this signal line going up, so that's this right here. But it hasn't even, you see how the MACD right here is, yeah, it comes up and it goes back down. That's this right here. So you can see that it goes up and then corrects and comes right back down. And now let's see if we can find some chart patterns for you to learn from, to guide from. Yeah, here's one. Here's the reverse. Oh boy. I wanted to find a reverse head and shoulders for you. Here's one, but it doesn't break out. So here's the neckline, because this is the reverse head, and this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder, but it doesn't break out. So what you have right here is the reverse head and shoulders right there. So you have the reverse head and shoulders with no breakout. So no breakout. So there's a neckline and there's no breakout. Yeah, and basically here's a better one. This is yeah, right here you can kind of see. Here's the reverse head, left side, right side, and then it does break out right here. Bum bum bum. Rectangular. So here, basically you have the reverse head and shoulders with neckline and with the breakout right there. Yeah, so there's that. And let's see if I can get it. Yeah, here's another one. Right here, you can see. Here's the one shoulder. Here's the other shoulder, and that's basically the neckline right there. Reverse head and shoulders right there. Boom. Yeah. Yeah. So those are some reverse head and shoulders for you, along with the double tops, double bottoms. Oh, here's a good one. Here's the reverse head and shoulders. It actually does break out a little bit. You see, here's the left, here's the right. So right there's the neckline, and then you have the breakout right there. So reverse head and shoulders, breakout. Yeah, good. So I'm glad I could find that for you. So there's the reverse head and shoulders. Here's another reverse head and shoulders. Same thing here, and yeah, we talked about in the last one. We talked about the double tops, double bottoms. Now let's go here to some any news reports. Yeah, so the American Water reports 5.14 billion in revenue, and they repaid a note that they had. Now look at the volume again. Here's what I want to talk to you about. The volume. The volume is at 2.3 million, and you can see how the volume changes. The volume changes whenever there's more trading. You see right here the little volume bars. So when it goes up or goes down, you can see there's more trading, like right here. But when it's consolidating, for example, right here, consolidation. There's less trading. So consolidating phase, consolidating phase. You have less trade volume in consolidation phase. Yeah, so less trade volume in the consolidation phase. So that's also why you look at volume, because like right now, there's more volume right now because there's more trading, because you can see here how it's going down and then going a little bit back up. You see, so you see how the trading bars have increased right here. Now, what about the market cap? 25.25 billion of the market. Now, again, let's go. Are they earning money? How's the earnings looking? Well, quarterly, Q4, Q3, and Q2. So Q2 of 2025 missed the expectations. Q3 of 2025 beat expectations. Q4 missed expectations. So bear that in mind. So only one quarter beat expectations. But look annually what happened. See, annually, they just missed expectations for the annual side. 2024, they beat expectations. 2023, they also beat. So annually, it looks much better. The last 3 years, all 3 years beat expectations except for 2025. Now, so they're having good earnings except for 2025. It's not that 2025 was a bad year for earnings; it just didn't meet the expectations. Now let's go here to the statements, hit the annual button right there, and let's look at total revenue, gross profit, operating income for the last 3 years. Okay, the last 3 years it was all in green, and net income last 3 years was all in green also. So this is just one of the pieces of information that can tell you, hey, the revenue, profit, and operating income is looking good, so that's a good sign if that's what you're looking for. Now, you can also, for example, let's go down here. Again, if you want to, for fun, you can look at the forecast. Who are these analysts? But the 1-year price forecast have a max estimate of 149 and a minimum estimate of 121. So yeah, bear that in mind. Now, so that was water, because we were talking about the data centers. We talked about the oil and some of the oil companies. Let's talk about, for example, how the Supreme Court's decision is affecting Apple. Because Apple has a $3.3 billion tariff bill. So these this decision with the tariff is affecting many companies, but let's talk about Apple, because Apple's a big one. They spent more than $3 billion on tariffs since these trade policies came into play, and the Supreme Court struck down Trump's tariffs, and that means that companies could source more of its U.S. products from China at a lower rate. Will Tim Cook try to claw back from the tariffs? That's a question. Now let's go here. Apple's tariff bill has racked up about $1 billion per quarter, but it's supposed to go down now based on the decision. Let's see, and the iPhone. So there's Apple's shares rose 1% on Friday just on this alone. So let's take a look at this. Yeah. So Friday's decision kills Trump's tariffs on China-made goods, which are at a 47% rate as of December. It also frees up Apple to produce more U.S.-bound products in China. So let's go here to Apple. Let's see, what does Apple have to say? Apple. Grab some tea here. Okay, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Here's Apple. What are we looking at right now? So right now, you can see the RSI just jumped up, and you can see the price chart just jumped up as well. So right now we have, let me type this for you, have an RSI of about 86. RSI equals 86 equals very bought. So looking for a correction. Okay, and it might be that you're already seeing one right now as we speak. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Yeah. Now let's go here. So the RSI is definitely overbought, and you've seen that in the you're already seeing the red candle, which is showing some correction already, and let's go. What's the R? And you see the MACD. The red candle just got erased. Right now you can see, for example, the MACD has jumped all the way up, but it hasn't changed from the upward swing. So let's see what happens with that. Now let's go over here to the price chart. What can we see here? Right now, oh yeah, here's another example of some basically some consolidation. You see it goes up and down about the same amount right there, right here, and you can kind of see that right about here, to here in the RSI as well. Yeah, it goes up and down almost the same amount. And let's see, here, for example, I want to show you a good chart pattern. Yeah, let's see. For example, here you'll see right here you have, here's a bottom, and here's a bottom right here, and basically here's the neckline. So here's the neckline, and then here it does break out a little bit. So this is your hold on. This is your double bottom chart pattern with neckline and breakout. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. Here's another one. If you want to see another breakout, boom. Here's a bottom. Here's a bottom. And then here's the neckline, and it breaks out right here. So let me highlight that for you. Right here, you have this neckline breakout, this neckline breakout right there, and yeah. If we go right over here, let me highlight this for you. Get you some more chart patterns here if I can. I'm trying to find a head and shoulders that actually breaks out. Where is it? A fun one. Give me a fun one. Well, anyway, maybe on the next chart. But those are some patterns for you right there. Yeah. Here's for example, here's a reverse head and shoulders. Here's your reverse head, left side, right side. So here's your neckline, but it doesn't break out past the neckline. It just continues. So this is a good example of a reverse head and shoulders, but no breakout. So there's no breakout on this one. Okay, so there's that. So there's that. Now let's take a look at this Apple. 7 hours ago, Nanco said moved to add Apple as a name. Okay, so volume-wise, they're at 442,000. Why is that important? Because right now you see Apple's going up. You see a lot of volume here in the trading. So whenever it goes up or goes down, you see more volume. There's more volume right there. You see that? Like I said, when there's more things happening, see here, the price chart jumped up. So you have more a spike in the volume trading right there, okay? And then market cap is at 3.9 trillion. Again, let's go here to the earnings. Earnings, what are we earning today? Quarterly, Q1 is at 2.84. Q4 is at 1. Yeah, so Q1 of 2026 and the last 2 quarters of 2025 both surpassed earnings expectations. Again, that tells you that it's meeting more than what they were expected to. So that means the company is stronger than what they were expecting in regards to earnings. That is. Now it's important to not just focus on quarterly, but also to go to annually. So annually, 2025, 2024, 2023, all the years in the last 3 years surpassed earnings expectations. Look at that. 2025, 2024, and 2023. So that means year over year, they earn more than they were expected to, which is a strong signal. Let's go to statements. Statements wise, click the annual button. Let's look at the revenue, the profit, and income. So revenue, profit, and income for the last 2 years. Let's do that first. The last 2 years, 2024, 2025. For revenue, gross profit, and income, we're all green, all doing well. But in 2025 was the only year that had positive net income. 2023 and 2024 had negative net income. Actually, 2023 was not a good year for Apple because 2023 their revenue, their profit, their operating income, and their was all negative, and so is their net income. So, having said that, let's go. Let's take a Let's Apple. Let's take a dive into some of the other companies that may have been affected. Bum bum bum. Yeah, let's see. Bum, bum. Quantum. Here's one thing I wanted to mention to you because I thought this article was interesting. Quantum's big leap into data centers. For example, quantum computers allow calculations to be performed at great speeds, much faster than current devices. By the end of the decade, we'll be confident we'll have machines in data centers that have commercial value. For example, looking here, this is a picture of the quantum computing chip. Quite interesting, but quantum computing may be closer to its breakout moment, and the quantum technology, which uses quantum mechanics to solve problems beyond the ability of the most powerful classical computers, have long been described as futuristic. And rapid advancements have intensified investment in the sector. They'll integrate into industries like the data center, and for example, classical computers use switches or bits to either pass through or block an electrical current at any given moment to perform the calculations. That's how it works. But the larger the number of bits, the greater the computing power. Quantum computers, on the other hand, use the ability of some materials at extremely low temperatures to exist in both the on and the off state at the same time. So this allows quantum bits, or what they call qubits, to perform the same calculations at vastly greater speeds. So that's interesting, and it's instead of being on or off, they can be both on and off, and that makes it wow. So Microsoft, which last year revealed a new quantum computing chip called Majorana, is among the hyperscalers, companies that provide computing capacity that can rapidly expand as demand rises, such as Google, Amazon are also investing heavily in the technology. Yeah. So that being said, I just wanted to show that to you. Some of the, again, who's investing the most here. Here's a chart down here. U.S. companies dominate investments in quantum computing, as you can see there. But yeah, quantum computing sounds interesting, to say the least. Big tech, hyperscalers. So we can also look up, another one we can look up would be, we talked about Apple already. We can look up Meta, we can look up Amazon. Why not? Let's do Meta, because Meta's also investing a lot into nuclear for their energy needs. So let's do that. Meta. Okay, so here we are. Here is Meta. And what's Meta doing today? Today, Meta is... if you look here, Meta is going down today, as you see. Look here at the RSI. The RSI is sitting here at 30. Let me type that in for you. The RSI, Relative Strength Index, equals 30. So it equals getting oversold. So look for a correction to come soon. For a correction to come soon. Yeah. And so there's that. And if you're looking here, you'll see that also with all the trading that's going on, you'll see more of the trading bars, indicators right there. So I'm looking for this to eventually pop back up, because based on the RSI, it's dropping below 30. Yeah. And then let me let's see, what's the MACD? The MACD crossed the orange line right there, and you can see that's when it dropped. And you can see the MACD hasn't corrected yet at all, so it's still going down. and then oh, here's one. Here's your double top. Here's your top and top right there. And then here is your neckline. So for example, let me type this for you. Here's the double double top chart pattern with neckline and a small breakout, yeah. So for example, right here, you see it goes down just a little bit right there, not much, but a little bit. And then let's go down here, and you see how it the market let me show. It market corrects and then it goes down. The market corrects and it goes up. Sorry, market corrects and it goes up. So this is what we call like a staircase, basically. All these little double bottoms to go up. So let me type that. Market corrects and continues to climb, almost like a staircase. So think of it that way. So you have the yeah, and you see the chart patterns. Yes. And let's see. Let's continue to look over here. I'm looking for a fun one for you. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Here we go. Finally, here's a reverse head and shoulders. Here's the left side. Here's the right side. And then here is the breakout. Here is the neckline. Oh, this is a good one. It really shows up well. I'm glad I could find this for you. So here, boom. Yes. So here is your reverse head and shoulders with neckline with upward breakout. Yeah, neckline upward breakout. Yes, just right there. And then, for example, you can see here, this is a good one too. It's not much of a breakout, but you see you have a double bottom. Here's your neckline, and then right here is just a small breakout. So let me type that one in. You have your double bottom with neckline with small breakout up. Okay, and then for example here, let's go. What do we got here? Yeah. Again, for example, if you want a double top, here's a double top right here, but there is no real breakout. Okay. I just wanted you to see that. Here's your reverse head and shoulders. Then here's it breaking out right there. So just to show you that, yeah, there's some good chart patterns right there. Let me highlight this for you. And yeah, good. Got some nice patterns. Got some good information there for you. Yeah. Keep in mind, be watchful of this RSI and the chart pattern here, okay? So, Blue Owl is Capital, a little bit of a news, a little bit of highlights here. Blue Owl Capital is partnering with Meta on $27 billion of a data center in Louisiana and seeking $4 billion for Pennsylvania center occupied by CoreWeave. Wow. Again, looking here on TradingView. Blue Owl Capital is partnering with Meta on a $27 billion data center in Louisiana and seeking $4 billion for a Pennsylvania center occupied by CoreWeave. That's interesting. Right now, volume's at 286.4 thousand. Again, I point that out to you because right now you see the volume is, there's higher volume now because there's a lot of up and down right there. As you can see right here, As you can see right now, the market has already corrected. That's interesting. In real time, you see how it's already gone up right here. The RSI has already gone up. So keep an eye on that. It's already corrected. And the market cap is at 1.6 trillion. Earnings wise, let's take a look at that. Earnings wise, quarterly, Q4 beat earnings expectations. Q3 completely missed it by a long shot. So Q3 was not good, but Q2 was. So annually 2025, yeah, they missed. No, annually 2025 they beat their expectations. So even though they had a bad quarter overall, annually they still beat. Oh wait, no. They beat it. Sorry, I'm getting my numbers confused here. But overall, annually they beat it. 2024 also annually they beat it. 2023 annually they beat it as well. So last 3 years annually they beat their expectations. Looking here at the statements wise, statements revenue, gross profit, and operating income. The last put the annual button. The last 3 years, total revenue, gross profit, operating income, all 3 years beat expectations. So not expectations. All 3 years were very profitable in the green. Net income was also very profitable in 2023 and 2024, but 2025 net income was not. You see it's in the red there. So again, the earnings and the statements help you get some information about the company that tells you how strong it is or how weak it is, the heartbeat, etc. There's a lot more other information you can look at, but that's some of it right there. So just bear that in mind. And then let's go again. If you just want to see what some of the analysts have to say, just for fun. 60 analysts offering a 1-year price forecast have a max estimate of 1,144 and a minimum estimate of 700, and they give it a strong signal. Now, I'm curious to hear. Do you think it's? Do you think, what's going to happen with all these AI companies and all these data centers and stuff like that? Let's see. Let me look this up. Top U.S. companies buying data centers. Which ones are these? So so let's look at this. Microsoft, BlackRock, Nvidia, Google, Meta, Amazon, XAI, and Anthropic. Amazon capital spending topping 100 billion. Wow. 40 billion acquisition of aligned data centers in 2025 for Microsoft. What do you guys think, of all this data center money? One of the most active debt issuers in 2025 was Meta, raising over 60 billion since 2022 to fund data center construction. What do you think about all this? Anyway, that's Meta. Well, what's another one I can talk to you about? I can talk to you about Amazon, but let's talk about the miners. Right now, gold is going up, so the miners are also interesting. Bullion rose as much as 1.4% towards $5,180. So let's take a look at some of the miners, because when metals go up, so do the miners. Top U.S. Mining companies. We can do that. Top U.S. Mining companies. So what's the big one? There's Freeport-McMoRan, Newmont Corporation, Roy Tinto. Let's look up Newmont. Let's see, because right now, if you're looking up at where is it? Yeah, gold is Newmont. Here we go. Newmont. That's not the one I wanted. Newmont. Yeah. Here we go. So Newmont. For those of you who may not know, Newmont engages in the exploration and acquisition of gold properties containing copper, silver, lead, zinc, or other metals. Operates through Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Peru. So they're a big one. Again, acquisition of gold, copper, silver. Yeah. So when gold and copper and silver are doing good, Newmont is doing good. So this is a good year probably for Newmont. Keep in mind right here the RSI. I'm very neutral. It's at 55. 55 equals very neutral right there. And then and right now you can see the chart's going up. You can also see right here the volume is going up because more trading is happening. And then right here it's correcting at the top. So you see the MACD is already coming down, crossing the orange signal line. And let's see, let me give you a couple of other things to see. Yeah, right here you can see that the chart is pretty much staying the same. So that's kind of what you see right here. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And when the chart is very much staying the same, when it's consolidating, you will also see very little trading. You see here, there's not much trading going on. But when the price chart changes, there's more trading. So bear that in mind. Here is here's your head, reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. And so here your neckline is slanted. It's a slanted neckline right there. So let me highlight that for you right here. Yeah, let me give you this. So this is basically a reverse head and shoulders with a slanted neckline and a small breakout. So what do I mean by that? So right here, basically, right here, there's a small breakout right here. Not a big one, but a small one. Yeah. So that's one pattern. You got the reverse head and shoulders. Also, same thing here. Let's see. This looks like, yeah, basically it looks like the same thing here. Here's your reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your breakout. Here's your breakout right here. Boom. And then let's see, what else can I show you? Well, anyway, you get the idea. So that's that. So good. We talked a little bit about the again. Today we talked a little bit about the indicators, a little bit about the price charts, the fundamentals, earnings, balance statements. So a little update about Newmont here. Volume-wise is at 1.06 million. Yeah, you see that right now their volume is going up because there's a lot, there's trading because the price is changing. Market cap is 136.23 billion. Yeah, for all of you that are caring about the earnings, here's a little bit about the earnings. Quarterly, all quarters beat their expectations. Annually, 2025, 2024, 2023, all the last 3 years beat expectations. Statements wise, annually, the last 2 years, revenue, profit, operating income, last 2 years were all in the green. Actually, net income the last 2 years was also all in the green. But 2023 was not a good year for them. Revenue, profit, income, and net income in 2023 was in the red. So bear that in mind. So that is a little bit about Newmont. And let me know if you enjoyed the headlines. Let me know if you enjoyed the chart patterns, what you want to see next. And thank you for all the comments, and see you next time.